This is exercise 4.3, placing pavement markings. In this exercise, we will place the necessary pavement markings for the sample corridor. We will only be working with the mainline eastbound lanes and the southern intersection approach only. Go ahead and open the RDWYII PM DGN file located within the Chapter 4 subfolder. You should get a workset not found alert, which will occur anytime you open a class file for the first time, since these files are not created under your unique workset. Go ahead and select Use Active Workspace TDOT Standards and the workset you created option, and then click Open. Remember to select this option for the other exercises in this manual when prompted. Let's go ahead and make sure that the default view is active in the lower left corner and the correct files have been referenced in 2D. So the files we need referenced would be the alignments, corridor, and terrain file. Click Fit View to see all elements within the reference file. Make sure that the existing triangles are turned off on the terrain, if not already. The file should contain 2 corridors, each with different types of templates. The intersection should contain 2 civil cell T intersections and curb ramp civil cells. Open the View Attributes tool, which is located under Open Doors Modeling, View, Presentation, or by pressing Ctrl B as in boy on your keyboard, and turn off the construction options. Open the level display and turn off the Design Corridor Graphics Controls, Design Corridor Graphics Design, Design Model Lines Cut Slopes, and Design Model Lines Fill Slopes levels within the RDWYII PM Corridor DGN file. Now we will place the lines that will go through the corridor. First, select the PM-SSWL 6-inch feature definition, which is located under Linear, Pavement Markings, Striping, and be sure to toggle on the Use Active feature definition. Open the Single Offset Partial tool, which is located under Open Doors Modeling, Geometry, Horizontal, and then Offsets and Tapers. And then select the EOP R for the mainline corridor, key in an offset of 0 feet, and toggle on the Lock to Start. All other settings remain as default. Then snap to the intersection EOP with the side road corridor to determine the end distance. Note to ignore the 6-inch lines section item type within the dialog box. With a single offset partial tool still open, select the EOP line that was selected in the previous step, snap to the other side of the intersection EOP line as the start, and then toggle on Lock to End. Next, open the Single Offset Entire Element tool, which is under Open Doors Modeling, Geometry, Horizontal, Offsets and Tapers, and set the offset to 0. Then select the 2 civil cell EOP lines and the side road template drop EOP lines to create the white striping on the side road. There should now be a total of 6 offset lines, 2 on the eastbound mainline offset edge, 2 on the south civil cell EOP, and 2 on the south side road corridor EOPs. To check if all lines are properly placed, turn off the EOP level, Design, Model, Lines, Pavement Edge within the RDWYII PM Corridor DGN reference file. Please note that the placement of pavement markings is done in the 2D model exclusively. The placement of these lines in 3D will not be done until all the pavement markings have been placed. Go ahead and turn the Design Model Lines Pavement Edge level back on. We are going to place the inside yellow lines along the eastbound lane of the main line corridor. First, locate the 5-lane section of the main corridor at the beginning of the stationing. The first section of striping will be without the bidirectional markings, so go ahead and select the PM-DBYL 6-inch right feature definition. Open the Single Offset Partial tool once again. Set the offset to 0 and select the start of the inside EOP for the eastbound side of the corridor. Extend this line 350 feet or halfway down the corridor. Now select the PM-DBYL 6-inch plus bidirectional marker at 80 feet right feature definition. and finish placing the remainder of the right inside yellow line along the 5-lane section. You can determine the start and end location by entering 350 as the start distance and 700 feet as the end distance. Notice that the line style now has a bidirectional marking embedded. Turn off the EOP level, which is Design, Model, Lines, Pavement Edge within the Road2 PM Corridor DGN reference file to review the 2 lines just placed. Turn that level back on and then select the PM-SSYL 6-inch feature definition. Open the single offset partial tool once again and select the inside EOP line, starting at the end of the 5-lane section and ending at the beginning of the median opening. Repeat this offset by starting at the end of the median opening and ending at the end of the corridor. Next, open the single offset entire element tool once again and select the 2 EOP lines from the median opening. Then we can turn off the EOP levels, which is Design, Model, Lines, Pavement Edge, within the Road2 PM Corridor DGN reference file to review the 4 lines just placed. Turn that level back on. We will now place the side road center line striping for the southern approach. Select the PM-DSYL 6-inch feature definition, use the single offset partial tool, and select the center line of the side road alignment. Toggle on Lock to Start, and key in a end distance of 2 + 80. Turn off the centerline level, which is Design Centerline Proposed within the Road2 PM Alignment DGN reference file to review the line just placed. Turn the centerline proposed level back on. We will now place the lane marking on the eastbound lane of the mainline corridor. Select the PM-SBWL 6-inch plus bidirectional marker at 80 feet feature definition. Open the single offset entire element tool once again and select the outside solid white pavement marking placed earlier in the exercise for the base element and set the offset to 12 feet. So now we're going to move on to the side road of the southern approach. This side road is set up to have 2 lanes, a left turn only and a straight right turn. Select the PM-SSWL 8-inch feature definition. Open the single offset partial tool once again and select the center line. Set the offset to 12 feet and set the start distance to 120 and the end distance to 280. Next, select the PM-SDWL 8-inch from 2 feet to 4 feet feature definition and open the Variable Offset Taper tool. Select the side road alignment as the reference. Set the start offset to 0 and the end offset to 12 feet. Set the start distance to 0 and the end distance to 120. And then we can turn off the centerline level, Design Centerline Proposed within the Road2 PM Alignments DGN reference file to review the line that was just placed. Now we will place the stop bar at the intersection of the southern approach. Select the PM-stop bar feature definition, which is under Linear, Pavement Markings, and then Other. Open the Line Between Points tool, which is under Open Rows Modeling, Geometry, Horizontal, and then Lines, and place the stop bar between the double yellow center line and the right EOP. After placement, you can select the stop bar and adjust it as needed using the move handles. Next, we will place the crosswalk across the southern approach of the intersection. Select the PM-crosswalk longitudinal feature definition, which is located under Linear, Pavement Markings, and then Others. And then using the Line Between Points tool again, place the crosswalk, and note that the curb ramps have already been placed. Lastly, we will place a left turn arrow and the corresponding only symbol on the side road. Select the PM-left turn only feature definition, which is under Linear, Pavement Marking, and Arrows and Symbols, and using the single offset partial tool, offset 6 feet from the double yellow marking. Set the start location at the stop bar and end at the beginning of the turn lane. And notice how the symbol is in the correct distance from the stop bar. And note if you start at the beginning of the turn lane and end at the stop bar, the direction would be incorrect. So take note that all the intersection arrows and symbols are set up to be drawn from the stop bar. This is because TDOT standard drawing prescribe a offset distance from the stop bar to place pavement markings. And the intent is that the user will utilize these tools in this exercise along with additional feature definitions to fully create a proposed striping for a given project. And this concludes exercise 4.3, placing pavement markings.